Good morning. You're watching the morning news on CNN News 18. I am Anjali Pandey, and across the next half an hour, we'll take you through the top stories from across the country and the world. Our top focus of the day is on the G7 summit that is underway in Japan's Hiroshima, and we're getting some fresh inputs on that story. Now, China has reacted to the remarks on G7 Hiroshima summit, saying that G7 is hyping up China-related issues. China has also said that the G7 makes high-sounding claims about promoting a peaceful, stable and prosperous world, but what it does is hindering international peace, undermining regional stability and curbing other countries' development. So this is what the China has said after the G7 issued its strongest condemnation of China as the world's most advanced economies stepped up their response to what they called rising military and economic security threats posed by Beijing. Now, criticizing China over everything from its militarization of the South China Sea to its use of economic coercion, the G7 urged Beijing to push Russia to withdraw its troops from Ukraine, and after that, China has strongly reacted to these remarks, saying that the G7 is hyping up China-related issues, and it has also said that the G7 makes high-sounding claims about promoting a peaceful, stable and prosperous world, but what it itself does is hindering international peace, undermining regional stability and curbing other countries' development. So the G7 countries had criticized China over everything from its militarization of the South China Sea to its use of economic coercion, and it had issued its strongest condemnation of China as the world's most advanced economies stepped up their response to what they called rising military and economic security threats posed by Beijing, after which we're seeing that China has strongly condemned those remarks, saying that the G7 is hyping up China-related issues and that the G7 makes high-sounding claims about promoting a peaceful, stable and prosperous world, but what it does is hindering international peace, undermining regional stability and curbing other countries' development. So China has expressed strong dissatisfaction with the remarks made by the G7 countries that criticize Beijing on issues including the South China Sea, human rights and alleged interference in their democracies. And it has said that the G7 is hyping up China-related issues. CNN News 18's Abhishek Jha is joining us. Abhishek, so the China has strongly expressed its dissatisfaction over the remarks made by the G7. Can you give us more context?
Clearly, what G7 has said about this whole China, about its economic rise and its strategic aggression is something that was believed that China would react sharply upon. G7 had clearly said that they call upon China to press Russia also to stop its military aggression. They have talked about human rights violation situation in China. They have also talked about China's policy across Taiwan Strait as something that is that's concerning. So clearly, all the reasons to irritate China, and China has reacted over such remarks. They have also talked about South China Sea and East China Sea and how Chinese aggression in those regions is creating a concern for the security and rules-based world order. So, I mean, earlier also we had seen G7 countries in all unity condemning Chinese action, its human rights violation, Taiwan Strait crisis, and its economic, coercion as a state policy to leverage its strategic gain in the areas in and around South China Sea and other parts of the world. So clearly, the commentary coming from Chinese side is in reaction to what G7 communique has said.
Also, Abhishek, now it is being seen as the strongest criticism of Beijing by the G7 countries, criticizing China over everything from its militarization of the South China Sea to its use of economic coercion. Can you give us more details?
Yes, I mean, G7 has said that we remain seriously concerned about the situation in the East and South China Seas. We strongly oppose any unilateral attempts to change the status quo by force or by coercion. They have also said that we'll push a level playing field for our workers and companies. They have talked about illegitimate technology transfer or data disclosures. They have, we know that Chinese 5G technology or telecommunication technology has long been, speculated to be snooping around the world wherever this technology has been transferred or by whichever countries has been imported. So clearly, those data or those surveillances by Chinese companies on the pretext of having commercial relation with other countries is something that the world has keenly observed in the past also. And in fact, many countries have stopped buying 5G equipment or telecommunication equipment in China. These companies, most of them are members of this G7 grouping. So in that context, it becomes really important that now the grouping, the bloc of G7 is trying to sort of put some ban on Chinese technology being imported to their countries. There have been bans on Chinese, apps in various countries across the world. In fact, India has also banned some of the Chinese companies because of the data theft being anticipated by the Chinese side. Chinese, aggression and disrespect of sovereignty and territorial integrity of its neighborhood is well known. We talk about Taiwan Strait crisis, or we can talk about standoff at line of actual control between India and China, or the Japanese Senkaku Island, where China has been trying to, put pressure on Japan. So clearly, all those aspects of Chinese emergence as a country which is capable and which is becoming rogue also in terms of economic power and strategic heft is concerning the G7 bloc, and they have come out with a very sharp and criticism on China's recent steps and China's overall geopolitical direction in which China is moving.
All right, Abhishek, thank you for giving us that context. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates.